For a year after I resigned, my former boss called every company I interviewed with and told them I had been fired for stealing. He thought I had no recourse. He did not know that during every one of our one-on-one meetings, my state allowed me to record audio legally, and I had. I worked for a marketing agency for 4 years under a man named Russell. Russell was what you might call a classic small company tyrant. He was loud, insecure, and convinced that every success the agency had was personally his. He had also, over the years, had a pattern of driving out senior employees and then trashing them to their next employer. I had watched 3 colleagues leave before me and heard afterward, through industry gossip, that Russell had made calls. In one case, a former coworker had a signed offer rescinded after a call from Russell. I knew, when I decided to leave, what I was walking into. Here is what I did before I gave notice. I lived in a state that permits single-party audio recording, which means any party to a conversation can record it legally without notifying the other party, provided they are themselves a party. I confirmed this with an employment attorney before I did anything. I was told clearly what I could and could not do, and I stayed within the law. For the 18 months leading up to my resignation, I recorded every one-on-one meeting with Russell. Some of them were weekly, some were ad hoc. He spoke freely in these meetings. He said things about clients, about colleagues, about me, about his own wife. He admitted on several recordings to things that would have been career-ending if they had ever been shared. I did not intend to use the recordings. I just wanted a record, in case. I also, in my final 6 months, asked Russell 3 times in writing whether there was anything about my performance he was concerned about. Each time he wrote back, in his own words, that I was a top performer and that he was grateful to have me on the team. I kept those emails. When I resigned, I did it professionally. I gave 4 weeks of notice, which was more than required. I offered to help with transition. I thanked him in a short email for the opportunity. His response was also short. He said he was sorry to see me go and wished me the best. I had a job offer in hand from a competitor within a month of my last day. It was a strong offer with a title bump and a pay raise. I accepted. I gave a start date 3 weeks out. The offer was rescinded 6 days before my start date. The reason given was vague, something about background check inconsistencies. I asked the hiring manager, directly and politely, whether there was someone I should speak to. She was a kind woman, and after a pause, she told me that a call had come in from Russell claiming I had been let go for embezzlement and that the agency had decided not to press charges as a courtesy. She said she was sorry. She said HR had flagged it. She said she could not override the decision. I hung up. I sat in my kitchen for a long time. Then I called my attorney. Over the next 11 months, I interviewed at 9 different companies. I received 4 offers. All 4 were rescinded in a similar way. In 2 of the cases, hiring managers quietly told me off the record that Russell had made a call. In the other 2, I could guess. I did not contact Russell. I did not respond to any of it publicly. At the 11-month mark, my attorney and I had assembled a package. It included the 4 rescinded offers, with documentation from 2 of the hiring managers. It included my performance reviews from the agency. It included the 3 emails from Russell saying I was a top performer. It included certified transcripts of 8 recorded meetings where Russell personally handled, without incident, every financial matter I had ever been near. It included a recording from my final year where Russell had told me, casually, that I was one of the 2 people in the office I actually trust around money. My attorney sent 1 letter to the agency's outside counsel: defamation, tortious interference with prospective business relationships, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The letter included the recordings. The agency's counsel called the next business day. We settled in 4 weeks. The terms are confidential. I will only say that the settlement number exceeded what I would have made in salary had I been allowed to start at the first job I had accepted and stayed there for several years. As part of the settlement, the agency agreed to send a signed letter to each of the 4 companies that had rescinded offers, retracting the claims, explicitly clearing my record, and confirming that I had left voluntarily and in good standing. 2 of those companies reopened their offer to me. I accepted one and started shortly after. Russell was, as I understand it, quietly pushed out of the agency about 6 months after the settlement. His partners did not want to carry the liability of future claims if he continued the pattern. Here is what I learned. There are people who abuse their reference power because they have never been made to pay for it. If you work for one of them and you live somewhere where you can legally record your own meetings, consider it a form of professional insurance. You may never need it. If you do, you will be grateful. Has someone ever lied about you to hurt your career? Tell me in the comments.